So good morning all of you. Welcome to physics online session. In the previous class, we have discussed some basic terminology regarding ray optics. Yes, basic terminology. So what is the principal axis? What is the radius of curvature? What is a pole? What is a focus? So these are all some basic topics we have discussed in and the lecture number one. In this present lecture, so we are going to discuss what is reflection of light, and the laws of reflection, laws of reflection, and the relation between F and R, focal length and radius of curvature, and the mirror equation. The mirror equation. Okay. So first I'll start with what is the reflection of light. Reflection of light. What is meant by reflection? So let us take a plane reflecting surface. Nothing but a mirror. Okay. So I'm drawing a normal to this mirror. This is a perpendicular line drawn onto the surface. This is called a normal. Okay. When light incident on a reflecting surface, so some amount of light reflects back into the comes back into the same medium, bounces back into the same medium. So this bouncing back of light is known as reflection. Let us see, taking one light ray. So this light ray incident on this plane reflecting surface at this point O. This is called the point of incidence. Okay. So if it is a completely reflecting surface, okay, so total amount of light comes back into the original medium. It bounces back into the same medium. So this bouncing back of light after striking the plane reflecting surface is known as reflection. Okay, so this is the incident light ray. This is the reflected light ray. Okay, right. So this is called this angle is called the angle of incidence, and this angle is called angle of reflection. Okay, the angle of incidence and angle of reflection should be measured from the normal only. So this is not the angle of incidence. You have to measure angle of incidence and angle of reflection from the normal. Okay, this is about the reflection. Okay, so there are two types of reflection: a regular reflection and irregular reflection. Reflection and irregular reflection. So regular reflection, nothing but when a parallel beam of light incident on a plane surface, each and every light ray so takes the same direction. Okay, so the light will be reflected like this. Okay, if the surface is rough, then the reflection is known as irregular reflection or diffused reflection. So different light rays reflected in different direction. This is called a diffused reflection. So because of this diffused reflection, we are able to see the objects around us. Okay, this is about the reflection of light. Next, we will discuss the laws of reflection. Laws of reflection. Okay, so once again, I'll draw the same figure here. A plane reflecting surface, nothing but a mirror. So this is the normal drawn to the surface. Okay, I am taking a single ray of light going to incident at a point O. This is called the point of incidence. Point of incidence. Okay, this is the incident light ray. Okay, and this is the angle of incident. So after striking this plane reflecting surface, you know that it goes back into comes back into the same medium, and this is the angle of reflection, and this ray is called reflected light ray. Okay, so there are two laws of reflection. One is, first law is the angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. Okay, so here light incident on this plane reflecting surface, for example, it incident with an angle of 30 degrees, so the reflected angle of reflection also 30 degrees. It is not only true for plane surface but also for any curved surface. This is the first law of reflection. And the second one is the second law of reflection, the incident ray, reflected ray, and normal to the surface lie in the same plane. Incident ray, reflected ray, and normal. All these three lie in a single plane. Okay, so these are the laws of reflection. Okay, so right. Next, so here we'll discuss. So what is the sign convention? So before going to discuss the relation between focal length and radius of curvature, so we'll discuss sign convention. So from the topic we'll learn how to give signs, so to different distances like object distance, image distance, focal length, and radius of curvature. Okay, so here next one is sign convention. Sign convention. Okay, so you can see, I'll show you a figure here. So this we have discussed. So what is the reflection of light, and the laws of reflection? Yes. See here. Next, sign convention. So here, every distance, all the distances should be measured from the pole only. Okay, here this is a I'm taking a concave mirror here. This is the pole, midpoint of the curved surface. Every distance so should be measured from this, must be measured from the pole only. Okay, that is the first rule to remember. And the second one is the distances measured in the direction of incident light should be taken as positive. If we are measuring the distance in the direction of incident light ray, that will be taken as positive. Or if you are measuring the distance opposite to the direction of incident light, that will be taken as negative. Okay, look at this figure. For example, this is the incident light ray, which is going to strike the this concave mirror like this. Okay, so let us take an object. This is an object actually. This is an AB is an object placed in front of a concave mirror. Okay, so one of the light rays coming from this object. Okay, now I want to measure object distance. So object distance. So here light ray is moving towards right, but we have to measure every distance from the pole. So in order to measure object distance, we are moving from pole to object. So what is our direction of measurement? It is towards left. Okay, what is the direction of light ray? It is towards right. So they are in opposite direction. That is why. So the object distance is taken as negative. Okay, so and this is about the third rule. Fourth rule: the distance measured above the principal axis should be taken positive, and below the principal axis should be taken negative. If you are measuring the distance above the principal axis, that will be taken as positive, and below the principal axis, that will be taken as negative. So, and these are the important rules to remember. Four rules. First one is all distances should be measured from the pole only. That if you measure the distance in the direction of light, that will be taken as positive. Opposite to the direction of light, taken as negative. Above the principal axis, taken as positive, and below the principal axis, taken as negative. Okay, and so now then the next topic is, so what is the relation between the focal length and the radius of curvature? So before going to derive a relation, once again we have to know what is the focus and what is the focal length. Okay, and what is the sign given to focal length. So we can give sign by using this sign convention rules. Okay, right. The next one, this is a focus. What is a focus? Already in the basic terminology we have discussed what is a focus. When a parallel beam of light, so after reflection from this concave mirror, so all these light rays, every ray is parallel to each other and also parallel to the principal axis. This is the principal axis. Yes, so light rays are parallel and also parallel to this principal axis. This is a parallel beam of light. Then the light rays after reflection come to a focus at a point on the principal axis, that is called focus. Okay, so this after reflection, all the light rays are converging to a point F. So this beam is converging beam after reflection. Okay, so the incident beam is parallel beam of light and the reflected beam is converging to a point F. Okay, so this is a focus. So this is a focus and this is called the real focus. Why? Because light rays are actually meeting at a point F on the principal axis. Okay, so this is for concave mirror. Okay, so I'm asking what is the sign of focal length for this? What is the focal length? This is a point is called focus, and the distance between this F and P is the focal length represented by small f. This distance is a focal length. Okay, and what is the sign? Is it positive or negative? Okay, so let us see. So here the light rays are moving towards right, but in order to measure focal length, we have to move from pole to focus. So we are moving from pole to focus. So we are moving opposite to the direction of incident light. So this distance is taken as negative. So the focal length is taken as negative for concave mirror. For concave mirror, the focal length should be taken as negative. So what is a what about for convex mirror? So this is a convex mirror, same parallel beam of light. So incident on the surface after reflection. So the light rays are diverging, appears to diverge. See here, this is a light ray. So if we extend them in a backward direction, they will appear to be coming from a point. They are not directly coming from this focus. They appears to be coming from this point. That is why, so this is called virtual focus. Here, real focus actually meeting. So actually here they appears to be diverging from this point. This is called virtual focus. Okay, so what is the sign to focal length of convex mirror? So what is the direction of incident light? It is towards right. And we are measuring the focal length from pole to focus. So what is our direction of measurements? We are moving towards right. So that is why the focal length for convex mirror is taken as positive. Okay, in this way we have to give signs to different distances. What about the radius of curvature? Sign to radius of curvature. In order to measure radius of curvature, what is the radius of curvature? Distance between center of curvature and pole. So to measure radius of curvature, so we have to move from pole to center of curvature. So for concave mirror, this one also taken as negative. Okay, and for convex mirrors, so it is positive. Why? Because direction of measurement and the direction of incident light both are in the same direction. So in this way we have to give signs to different distances. Okay, right. The next one, so we'll discuss next actually what is a focal plane. Okay, so a plane which is passing through focus. Here this is a focus. Okay, this is a focus. So here this is not a, this is a parallel beam. This is parallel beam of light. The light rays are parallel to each other, but these light rays are not parallel to principal axis. Then what happens? So the parallel rays of light after reflection from the concave mirror will come to focus at a point, but not on the principal axis. Why? Because these light rays are not parallel to the principal axis. If the light rays are parallel to the principal axis, they will come to focus F. Okay? If the light rays are parallel, they will come to focus at a point which is on the focal plane. A plane which is passing through focus is called focal plane. So light rays will come to focus at any point on this focal plane. Okay, so this is about the focal plane. The next one, we'll discuss the relation between the focus and focal length and radius of curvature. Relation between focal length and radius of curvature. Okay, so to find a relation between focal length and radius of curvature, so I am taking a concave mirror. This is a concave mirror and this is the principal axis. I'll identify points on the principal axis. This is the center of curvature and focus, pole. Okay, here to find a relation, just I am taking a single ray of light. Okay, parallel ray of light. So it is parallel because this light ray is parallel to principal axis. Okay, This is the incident light. Okay. Now let the point of incidence be M. I'm taking M is a point of incidence. So we know that according to our rules, ray diagram rules, the light ray is parallel to the principal axis. Definitely it will come to focus at a point on the focus. Okay. So here after reflection, definitely it passes through focus. So this is the reflected light. Okay. Now we know that according to the law of reflection, the angle of incidence should be equals to angle of reflection. So it is true for any surface, whether it is plane or curved surface. Okay. So here we have both the rays, reflect incident light ray, reflected light ray. There is a normal definitely. So lie in between the incident light ray and reflected light ray. So how can you get a normal? How can you draw a normal to the convex surface? So by drawing a line from center of curvature to at a point on the incidence, you will get at a point on the curved surface, you will get the normal. So this is the normal. Okay, this is the normal. Okay, according to law of reflection, this angle of incidence, let theta be the angle of incidence and angle of reflection also theta. Okay, according to the first law of reflection, angle of incidence should be equal to angle of reflection. It is true for any surface. By geometry, so this is theta. Why? Because same two parallel lines make the same angle. Okay, so here this is 2 theta. So this is making 2 theta with this line, this parallel ray. So that is why this is 2 theta. Okay, now to find a relations, I need some right angle triangles. That is why I want to draw a perpendicular line onto the principal axis. Let us name this point as D. Okay. Now I will take 2 right angle triangles here from this figure. First one, from right angle triangle, the smaller one, from MPF, from triangle MPF, tan 2 theta can be written as, so this tan 2 theta opposite by adjacent. Okay, this tan 2 theta from MPF triangle, sorry, not MPF, actually MDF. This is MDF, from triangle MDF. This is a right angle triangle. This is 90 degrees. Okay, so MDF, tan 2 theta can be written as opposite by adjacent. Now what is opposite? MD by FD. Okay, so let it be equation number 1. I'll take another right angle triangle. Similarly from triangle, bigger right angle triangle, I'm taking MDC. Next right angle triangle, MDC is a bigger right angle triangle. So from this we can write tan theta is equal to same side opposite by adjacent. For the bigger right angle triangle, this CD is the adjacent side. This is, let it be equation number 2. Okay, so for small angles, tan 2 theta is approximately equals to 2 theta is equals to MD by FT. Similarly, tan theta is approximately equals to theta for small angles. Where small angles, tan theta approximately equals to theta, and MD by CD. Okay, see here, I'll write here the remaining part. So 2 theta, what is 2 theta? Let it be equation number 3. Equation number 4. From equation number 3, 3 implies 2 theta is equals to 2 theta is equals to md by ft. But 4 implies 2 into theta is equals to what? From this equation number 4, theta is equals to md by cd is equals to md by ft. Okay, so md got cancelled. So from this relation we'll get fd is equals to cd by 2. Fd is equals to cd by 2. Okay, so here if the light ray is parallel to principal axis for paraxial rays, if the light ray is close to the principal axis, then fd is approximately equal to fp, and cd is approximately equals to cp. Okay, what is fd? What is fp? Fp is a distance between pole and focus. So that is called focal length. Okay, and cp is a distance between center of curvature and pole, and that is r. Okay, and final expression I will write here. Therefore, fd is nothing but fd is approximately equal to fp, that is equals to f. Therefore, f is equals to cd nothing but r by 2, or r is equals to 2f. So this is the relation between the focal length and the radius of curvature. Okay, so here the next I think you understand. So how to derive relation? Just I have taken single ray of light here. I'll change the pen. Okay, I have taken a single ray of light. Okay, so that is a parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it is passing through focus. So here just identify the angle of incidence, angle of reflection. So by the first law of reflection, so I took both are same. By geometry, this is theta and this is 2 theta. Okay, in order to write relations tan theta, so I have taken two right angle triangles here by drawing a normal from the point of incidence onto the principal axis, and I have taken two here. What are the right angle triangles? MDF is one, and the next one is MDC. From from MDF right angle triangle, so we got tan theta 2 theta like this. Tan theta is equation number 2. So I have taken one approximation that is for small angles. So tan 2 theta is approximately equals to 2 theta, and tan theta approximately equals to theta. Okay, by combining the equation number 3 and 4, so we will get a relation between fd and cd. So fd is approximately equals to fp, and cd is approximately equals to cp. Why? Because so if the light rays are close to the principal axis, we can use this approximation. Okay, so that is why. So these two are replaced by f and r. So finally we got a relation between radius of curvature and focal length. Okay, right. So the next and last topic in this lecture, so that is the relation, the mirror equation. The mirror equation. Okay. So this mirror equation is very useful to find the position and nature of the image of an object placed in front of a concave mirror. If you place an object in front of a concave mirror at any distance, okay, if you want to know where the image of that object is formed, okay, so there is a simple equation. From that we can easily say where the image is formed. So that is called the mirror equation. Okay. So here I am taking, so I'll change the pen here. Okay, right. Once again, so I'll draw a little bigger. So I'll erase it. Okay. Okay. So this is I'll take here. Right. This is a concave mirror, and I'll draw a principal axis. This is focus F and center of curvature C. Okay, right. Let us place an object. I'm taking an object AB here, which is placed on the principal axis. So AB is the object. This is an object placed on the principal axis. Okay, so now I'll take uh, three light rays from this object, from the tip of this object AB. Okay, first I will construct a ray diagram for image, then I will derive relation for mirror equation. So I am taking three light rays here. One is parallel to principal axis, okay, and other is passing through center of curvature, little bit deviated, try to understand. So here, otherwise I'll remove it. Okay, oh sorry, right. Once again I'll draw here, sorry. This is an object and parallel ray of light, and one more light ray that is passing through center of curvature. Okay, and other is, let represent this pole. I'm taking one third light ray which is directed towards the pole. Okay, three light rays. I'm taking three light rays here. You can take one more which is passing to focus also. So enough. Okay, here we know that a parallel ray of light after reflection from the concave mirror will come to focus at a point on the principal axis yet, that is focus. So definitely after reflection, so this is a first reflected light ray. Next this is, I'll change the pen here. Okay, this is the reflected light ray, and the second reflected is here. I'll take first, I'll draw this one. So according to the rules of ray diagram, if a ray is directed towards the focus, so after reflection it retraces the original direction, but it travels in opposite direction. So this is a reflected light ray. Okay, so both incident and reflected light rays moves in this along the same path. Okay, and this is the first reflected light ray. This is the second one and third one. This is a third one. And what about the second one? This is a second reflected light ray. How can you identify here? So if this is a pole, if this is theta, this must be also theta. Somewhat deviated in my figure, but both angles must be same. Okay. So here all the three light rays are intersecting at this point. Here the light rays are intersecting at this point. There we'll get the tip of the object as image. This is the image. So B will be like this, and this is A dash. Okay. Now I constructed ray diagram here. So this is an object, and this is the image. This is the image. Okay. Right. And now, so one part is completed. So I have drawn a ray diagram. So just I have placed an object beyond the center of curvature. Okay. So in the lower class we have this I think you have learned where you will get the image. Okay. When object is placed at the focus, when you place an object at the focus, the image will be at infinity. If object is between center of curvature and between C and F, the image is formed beyond the center of curvature. If the object is placed at center of curvature, so image is formed at the same point. But okay, if the object is beyond the center of curvature, it will be formed between the center of curvature and focus. If the object is at infinity, the image will be at focus. So these are some rules. Okay, forget it. Now our aim is to find a mirror equation. Mirror equation is nothing but the relation between object distance, image distance, and focus. Yes, right. Now, in order to derive a relation here, so I'll take two similar triangles here. One of the similar triangles, so here I will construct, sorry, change pen here. Okay. Okay. So here B, A dash, F, and so let me identify this point as EM. Okay, point of incident for first light ray. This is EM, P. These two triangles, B dash, this is actually B dash, okay, image. So B dash, A dash, F, and MPF, these are two similar triangles. Why? Because they have common vertices. Yes, that is why these two are similar triangles. For similar triangle, so I'm using this formula. The ratio of vertical side ratio is equals to horizontal side ratio. What are the vertical side for? I'm taking this. This is the first triangle, and this is a second similar triangle. So what is the vertical side here for this first triangle? So B dash, A dash. Okay. What is the vertical side for the second triangle? This is PM. Okay, is equals to the horizontal side ratio for this triangle. What is the horizontal side? This is B dash F, and for the second right angle triangle, for the second triangle, what is the horizontal side ratio? This PF. Okay, so I got one relation from one similar triangle, one pair of triangles. Okay, so I'll take one more similar triangles, two more similar triangles from this figure here. One is A, B. I'll write completely. This is AB. This is P, and this is A dash, B dash, and P, or B dash, A dash, and so these two are also similar. Why? Because there should be a common side or common vertices or common vertex or common angle. Then they are said to be similar triangles. Here common vertex. Here common angle is same here. I told that angle of incidence equals to angle of reflection, but that is why these two angles are same. They have common angle, so that is why these two are similar triangles. Once again, I'll take the same ratio here. So here this point, I think, okay, this is F. Okay, somewhere it is between, F is in between B dash and P. Okay, now so let me write one more equation for this a second pair of triangles, same vertical. So this is, let it be first triangle, this is a second triangle. For the first triangle, vertical side ratio is B dash A dash by, okay, the second triangle is BA or AB, no problem, BA. Okay, horizontal side ratio, what is the first triangle? For this for what is the horizontal side for the first triangle? So B dash P, so divided by B dash P divided by, and this is B P. Let it be equation number 2. Okay, so next so so let me simplify this equation number 1. What is PM here? Approximately, if this object is very small, okay, when it is very small, almost this M and P, if actually if you draw a line from M to P, it will meet the principal axis at this point. But if the size of object is very small, this, if you draw a perpendicular line, they exactly it coincide with MP. Okay, so here this, try to remove it. Right. Okay, here AB is approximately equals to MP. That is why this can also be written as the equation number 1 can also be written as P dash A dash by PM, nothing but MP replaced by BARAB, that is equals to B dash F by PF. This is actual equation number 1. Okay, now equation number 1, LHS and LHS of both equations are same. Yes, so we can equate them from equation number 1 and 2. Sorry, from equations 1 and 2, we have, let me see that equation. So here both LHS are same. I replaced here equation number 1, I think this one. Yeah, this is the equation number 1. Okay, this is the equation number 1 and equation number 2 here. Okay, next compare RHS here. RHS of equation number 1 is B dash F. So B dash F by PF. B dash F by PF is equals to, and the RHS of equation number 2 is B dash P by BP. Okay, let it be another equation number 3. Okay, what is B dash F? So this is B dash F. So I want to rewrite this B dash F as B dash P. How can you get B dash F? If you subtract FP from B dash P, you will get B dash F. Yes or no? Here B dash F can be written as B dash P minus FP. Yes or no? If you subtract this portion from the entire B dash P, so you will get B dash F. Okay, that I want to write the same equation here. Same equation. Okay, So I'm replacing b dash f with b dash p minus fp divided by fp or pf. No problem. So fp nothing but b dash p by bp. Let it be another equation, equation number 4. Equation number 4. Now I want to substitute all the values here. What is b dash p? Here, we'll take another pen. Okay, what is b dash p? bp, what is bp? bp is nothing but the distance between the object and the pole. Okay, so here light rays towards right and we are measuring from pole to object, so moving in opposite direction. So object distance generally represented by u. Is it positive or negative? Negative. Okay, we are measuring opposite to the direction of incident light. And b dash p, b dash p is a distance between image and pole. This is also measured opposite to the direction of incident light. Okay, light rays towards right, we are measuring from pole to image, again opposite to the incident light. Okay, and what is the second one? Third one, fp. Fp is the distance between focus and pole, so that will also be taken as fp, also negative. All these three distances are negative, so focal length is negative, nothing but minus f. Okay, okay. From the rules of sign convention, by sorry by sign convention, so object distance bp is equals to this object distance equals to minus u, and image distance b dash p is equals to minus v, and focal length fp or pf is equals to minus f. All are negative. So now substitute all these values in this equation number 4. We'll get a b dash p. B dash p is nothing but minus v minus fp minus f divided by fp, again minus f, is equals to b dash p minus v bp minus u. So that implies here f minus, sorry, okay. So by simplifying it, you will get this negative. So here you will get v minus f by f is equals to v by u.
Next, 1 v by f minus 1 is equals to v by u. So that implies v by f minus v by u is equals to 1. So that implies v into 1 by f minus 1 by u is equals to 1. That implies 1 by f minus 1 by u is equals to 1 by v. Therefore 1 by f is equals to 1 by v plus 1 by u. So this is the mirror equation which helps us to find the nature and position of the image placed in front of a concave or convex mirrors. Okay, thank you.